Welcome. It's so great to have you guys. We are so psyched to talk about the low-hanging fruit strategy. So bring your cornucopias, bring your fruit smoothies, bring your cantaloupe and your watermelon and your kiwi. Just don't offer any kiwi to me because I'm allergic. But we're going to get into this topic because this is everything. It's so important. So the thing that I always like to start with when we discuss the low-hanging fruit strategy is let's just get our definitions, our nomenclature, our vernacular just on the same page so that we're using the same terminology. I don't like to get too hung up on terminology here because I might tend to go more into the marketing tech talk, and it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, there's people that are considering buying from us, and there are people that are buying from us, and then there's everyone sort of in between there. And ultimately, we can come up with our own vernacular here. But I will say, let me just quickly share my screen and just show two very quick images on how we might actually get on the same page. So I will go ahead and share my screen here. So the first one that I always like to talk about is where are people in the funnel? Okay, so this is one of my favorite visualizations of where we might find people in the funnel. So the first thing is, these are people at the top of the funnel. Sometimes we call these tofu, and the middle is mofu, and the bottom is bofu. That's sort of an internal thing, maybe. But ultimately, it's your prospects, it's your visitors, it's people that are maybe see your content. And then we go to our leads, right? And, we might buy leads, we might generate leads, we might get leads as referrals. And then it goes to an MQL, which is a marketing qualified lead, okay? These are people that the marketing team, if you had a marketing team, these are the folks that the marketing team would bring in. And then there's the sales qualified lead. Who's actually qualified to work with you? Do they have the budget? Is the timeline correct? Are they the right type of buyer? Are they looking at the product that you might be selling? It's an SQL, sales qualified lead. Then we go to opportunity. These are the deals. In our CRM, these are the folks that we actually enter as a deal. And then finally, we get to our customer. Or if it's not our customer, we get to closed lost, which means we ended up not earning or winning that business, which is totally fine, because just because we didn't win that business doesn't mean that that person's not eventually going to work with us or refer other people in the future. So all good there. And then this is another thing that I'd like to show very quickly. Everything that I showed here is from our perspective, right? This is the nomenclature that we will use. Any company that's building a CRM like what we're doing has to figure out some common nomenclature so that we can build up our deal stages. If you use the Dubb CRM, you will notice something very similar in the deal stages in Dubb. Now, what does it look like from their perspective, from the buyer's perspective? Well, initially, they're in the awareness stage. They might say, I'm aware that there are new diets out there, but I'm not sure which one is right for me. Right. And then they go to the consideration stage, which is I'm ready to solve this problem. I'm considering adopting a new diet or buying new food products for me, but I don't know exactly what to do yet. And then finally, after plenty of research, they get to the decision stage, which is now they're like, okay, should I go to this company? Should I get this meal plan? Should I go to Whole Foods? Should I go to Trader Joe's? What am I ultimately going to buy? How am I going to solve my problem? So if we understand this from the customer's perspective, which is the stages that they're in, and we also understand this from our perspective, and if we align those, something really magical happens. And what that is very specifically is we can understand the people that are truly interested in working with us, okay? Now, one of the things that we always like to talk about is this idea of inbound marketing versus outbound marketing. And this terminology has been around for a long time. People use different terms to describe what it is, but ultimately, it really comes down to this. Are you attracting people, or do you have to go and find people and get them in a meeting and sell them? Now, every company is doing both efforts. Even if you go to Zoom right now, one of the links on the Zoom website is, book a call. And that is their opportunity to turn inbound traffic into outbound traffic, because sure enough, once you click on that button and you enter into their system, they are going to follow up with you. In fact, the rep, how many times has a rep from Zoom emailed us about upgrading our account? How many? He emails us like every 3 days, it seems.
Yeah, every 3 days, sometimes every day. So
so even right, so even multi-billion-dollar companies are trying to convert inbound traffic to outbound. And by the way, if you're listening, we love you, Zoom. Thank you for the partnership. Really appreciate you guys. We have a deep partnership with Zoom. We have an integration into Zoom. So Zoom is like part of the family here. So appreciate you guys. But ultimately, I think the goal is to convert traffic. It's to get people First of all, it's to implement an inbound marketing strategy so that we can use original content, YouTube videos, and recorded demos and social media and video emails that we send out, referrals, channel partners, a true go-to market strategy that attracts people to us, to our website, to our phone, to our office. And as a result, then we can engage with them, okay? The other thing to do is to actually figure out, okay, once someone comes to us and they've gone into our mix and they went to our website and they watched our content, they watched our videos on YouTube or LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram, and they actually are considering working with us or maybe even deciding if they should work with us, then the key is to figure out who that person is, how you can get in touch with them, and where they are, what channel they're living on. So I think the ultimate thing that we're trying to figure out is, what is the low-hanging fruit? Who are the people that are interested, that have gone through our funnel, that have consumed information, and then ultimately are ready to talk to us? Now, if you're slammed with leads, if you need to focus your time on only the people that are truly interested, this webinar is absolutely for you. If you're trying to build up your pipeline, and it doesn't matter where the stage is because you need more pipeline and you need more leads, this webinar is also for you, because whatever you're doing, you're still trying to find your low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit is a relative term. It could be low-hanging fruit for leads or prospects or marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, deals, or clients, okay? So the channels that we're going to present in this webinar is, number one, how to send a video email newsletter. People ask me all the time, hey, Ruben, you know this stuff. How can I go and get my next client? How can I go and get my next 10 clients or 100 clients? Well, I always say this. I said, don't spend any money yet. Okay, don't spend any money on ads. Don't spend any money on production value. Don't hire an influencer. Don't do that. Figure out who already is in your CRM and who you can market to immediately. Because chances are, if you go to that Excel spreadsheet or that Google Sheet or the Dubb CRM or another CRM that you're using, your Gmail, wherever you store your contacts, chances are you're going to have hundreds, if not thousands of people. Those people you've spent a lot of time with. You've engaged with them. You've nurtured them. You've had meetings with them. You've attracted them, but you haven't closed them yet, which is okay. So the first thing that we always like to say is go and engage the people that are already in your mix. Why should you go buy new leads on Facebook or new leads from that company that keeps emailing you that says we have 10,000 leads for $100? Why even spend any time with those people when you already have leads in your database? So the first thing, again, that we're going to talk about is the idea of sending a video email newsletter. I'm going to share a case study in just a moment for that, which is really positive. The reason why that's valuable is because you can ask for a reply. You can ask for people to watch your video. You can know if they watched your video or not on Dubb. How many people know that if you send out a video email newsletter, you can figure out at the contact level who is watching your video, what calls to action they're clicking on, if they're filling out your form, if they're opening of your email even. We can figure out all those metrics, and that might determine who's interested. The second thing that we're going to do is to figure out how to actually engage with our channel partners. We've got a lot of friends out there, people that could potentially send us leads. Let's go engage with those folks. Let's create original content, send emails to them, send videos to them so that they know that we're here and that we're top of mind. The next thing is how to generate Facebook lead ads. Now, we're not going to do the full demo on this because we did another one. It's recorded, so we'll share the link. But Facebook lead ads, once you've done your video email newsletter, is a really good way to go and figure out who's totally interested, because chances are if they're going to fill out that form on Facebook, they're probably interested in buying. Social media announcements, social media posts. Let's get your bio link set up. Again, we won't do the full tutorial on this, but we will show you how powerful it is to have a video landing page as the bio link in your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, so on and so forth. And then the last thing is how to use Dubb for webinars and events. So that was a lot of information. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to dive deeper in questions, comments, concerns. Put them in the chat here on Zoom. Can't wait. Darius, let me bring you up on stage.
Right. Guys,
boom.
What Ruben just said here is the intro to the concept that we're talking about today, which is how to identify your low-hanging fruit, which is basically your most closable opportunities. There's two places these people exist. One is they exist out in the ether somewhere, right? They're on the internet, they're on social platforms, they're on your list, you can get your advertising, etc. The other low-hanging fruit is actually the ones in your database already. So we're going to be talking about two different approaches for how to identify and capture and convert those low-hanging opportunities in both of those channels. The first channel we're going to discuss is where Ruben just was mentioning, in our database. So using the technology itself is where I want to start, guys. I had a couple questions in here using Dubb as a CRM. That's exactly what this is going to be talking about as well. It's going to be using the tracking information Ruben just mentioned, which is when you send a video, regardless of how it's sent, through email, through text, through social media, through MailChimp, through any tool that you're using, we're able to track the results and identify those low-hanging opportunities. There's also a prerequisite to this, though, which is giving people the ability to identify themselves. It's like self-qualification. I'm going to introduce this concept to you guys really quick. So we actually have a brand new type of call to action button that goes along with this presentation perfectly. So here's a video that I recorded. This is Dubb in 90 seconds. So all my leads that are on the fence that are like, what is Dubb? How should I even get it? I don't even know what it is. We're going to send them this video. And below this video, if you guys are aware, right, we have our call to action buttons. And you'll see below my video is a button that says, I'm interested. So this is actually the new type of call to action that we created, which is just displaying a message. So right here, it's a simple type of call to action. I'm going to create it just from scratch. The type is display message. So the one that I actually already created, you can see it says example, I'm interested. So I named the button, I'm interested. And then the type is it's going to display a message. So when somebody clicks that button, it's going to say, thanks, I'll be in touch. The reason we made this button is now it gives you guys a very easy ability to add a button to your video. And when somebody clicks that button, this will be tracked. So now inside of the Dubb CRM, inside of the activity reporting, all across Dubb, it is now going to tell you that somebody just clicked, specifically who, when you set up the tracking, it's going to tell you who clicked your button that says, I'm interested. And guys, when you compare this to another page that perhaps has a booking or call me or text me or email me, those are what we call like a direct response, right? That's someone who's immediately ready to convert or discuss opportunity right now. I'm interested is a softer ask than that. Like they're not quite ready, but they're interested. And so this button, specifically having a button that says I'm in or I'm interested or learn more, they don't necessarily know what that button's going to do before they click it, but you do on your end. It's going to track their activity and signify that they've raised a hand and now separated themselves from the pack. So this is actually how the technology, guys, is going to be used to identify your low-hanging fruit in this first group of people we're discussing, which is your list. So as Ruben mentioned, we're talking about sending a video email to your qualified list. So if you have a group of contacts, people that have obviously not converted yet, and you don't want to waste your time calling every single one of those people because you know that 90+% of them, it's not a good time to call them. When you send a video email campaign or video text message campaign, you can come straight to the reporting here in Dubb. And right here in your activity, I can filter specifically by who clicked these buttons this week, today, yesterday, and instantly export that list and have, here's everyone that clicked my button that says I'm interested, and their phone number is right in that same export. So that instantly becomes my low-hanging fruit list of people that watch my content, said I'm interested. They didn't click the ultimate button, which is buy or book a time, right? You wouldn't be following up with them. You have a meeting with them. But everyone else that was somewhere on the fence, somewhere in between, they're a lower hanging opportunity, right? Because the people that are high up on the tree, the people that are not low hanging opportunities, they're likely not opening our messages. They're not clicking on our stuff. They're not engaging with our stuff because they're far away. The low hanging opportunities is what we're trying to identify. And by presenting them an ability to raise their hand, that's what this is right here. This button is a hand raise from their perspective. And we can easily filter in the reporting, and that becomes a way to identify your low-hanging fruit as easily or easier than ever before. So what this requires, though, guys, is getting this video into a vehicle where it can be distributed to your audience of prospects. So I'm going to show first just this recap of this inside of Dubb. For those of you that aren't aware, guys, we have the full CRM. Every contact you need, you can store, upload your lists. If you're using Dubb as a CRM, if you have another tool, I'll discuss that as well. So adding your list to Dubb, get your contacts in here, organize them, sort them, keep all the contact information you need on them. And then you can organize your campaigns where you can create bulk emails or text messages to come straight from the Dubb platform. We have so many trainings we've done specifically on this, guys. So if anyone wants a training on how to send a video email in bulk through Dubb, just drop it in the chat there. You can help yourself as well. By the way, guys, just really quick, everyone should know this. Everyone asks, what's the best way to get support? This little green bubble right here, just try to search for an answer. Like if you want to know how to send a campaign, just type in the word campaign. The answer's there instantly. And if you guys can't find what you're looking for, we're always here to help in a very short order. So if anyone wants to know how to send a campaign with Dubb, I know I saw someone, 1 or 2 people said, I want to know about the CRM. Let us know. We'll get the article straight to you. This is how to do it inside of Dubb, guys. You've created your button that allows them to raise a hand. I'm interested. I want to learn more. It's up to you what the button says and what the thanks, I'll be in touch says. But we've added this button. Now we're ready to send a video of something valuable, right? Just really quick, guys. What should you send in a video like this? Something valuable, something insightful, something that's going to teach them, have them learn something. You don't want to send ever a video that's saying, hey guys, just following up. How's it going? Right? Don't send that message because it does not provide any value to the recipients. They're going to be more likely to unsubscribe or not open your next message. So avoid the just following up message whenever possible, and instead try to provide some value, something insightful, something maybe they didn't know about your product or service or how it could benefit them or how it could benefit people like them, how it has. A customer testimonial, that's a great update. So the content you send has a button below it for a hand raise. You guys send the content and then filter by those results, and you instantly have your low-hanging fruit. So this is a direct strategy for using the Dubb technology to identify those low-hanging opportunities that are within your list. Now, the other opportunities we're talking about, guys, this is a complete 180, other side of the platform here, where we're talking about identifying low-hanging fruit out in the wild, right? In social media and other opportunities. So this is quite a wide net, but what I want to focus on is the just social media aspect of it. That's an opportunity where we can find low-hanging fruit for free, just opportunity, time cost. And we've really invested in our tools here because, guys, this is how we've built our business. This is how many of our clients continue to build their businesses because they're using the power of video to scale. And the easiest way to do this is through social media. You can be everywhere all at once, communicating with 1,000 people, selling them, educating them all over the world instantly. So this is what we've really invested in the technology in terms of giving you guys the tools to create these types of videos. The AI, guys, if you haven't seen this one yet, it's your ultimate content planner. Any business that you're in right now, like literally any business, you can type in here and say, what are videos I should create to help promote my X business? You can literally type that in right here, and you're going to get a list of videos that you should create to help promote your business. Take the AI, ask it the question. Now, let's just do it really quick. What are 10 video topics I should create to promote my martial arts school? Just for example, this will come back later maybe. So I'm going to ask this to be just 100 words. I don't want 500 words to read through. And I'm going to click submit. So again, replace martial arts school with X, with your business, whatever it may be. So what are 10 video topics I should create to promote my business? Boom, there's my 10 topics right here, exploring different stuff. So now I'm going to click this, go back to the AI and say, write me a message about this topic. Paste the topic. And now this one I want to be 200 words because I want it to be like a 2-minute video or so. Maybe that's a little fast for me. I speak quickly. It's going to be a 1-minute video. So I click resubmit. Now I have the content that I can go record using our tools. And we've made it one step easier because there's a button right here to add this directly to my teleprompter. You guys can see the exact script I can say. We always recommend some human revision, right? Read this over, do a little editing, but your script is outlined, ready to roll. And with one button, it's now going into a teleprompter where I can now record directly from our tools with the teleprompter. So this is the other opportunity here, guys, is to capture the low-hanging fruit through social media. By using the AI to generate the content, it's going to tell you, here's the type of content you should make to capture your low-hanging fruit. You generate the content, you post it to social media, YouTube, other platforms, TikTok, whatever social platforms you're on. All of them, in fact, because depending on what business you're in, you may find your buyers in different locations. So this is the other opportunity here, guys, is using the AI to identify top content that you should be creating to then put on social media where your low-hanging fruit, your closest opportunities will find and engage with that content. Guys, the social media algorithms are designed to feed your content specifically to the people that are interested in it. That's what hashtags, and that's why they're listening to the videos. The algorithm's designed to do that. So when you're creating the content that your low-hanging fruit, your opportunities are looking for, that's how you're going to get directly to those opportunities. So this is a two-pronged strategy, guys. Regardless of if you have a big audience, you have a big book of business, I've shown you this strategy, how to use either the Dubb technology or maybe a combination of your own marketing tech with Dubb. And then if you guys are brand new, you're starting your own list, or you're doing a combination of both. We've tried to make it as easy as possible. And this is, like I said, what we're doing, what we teach our other clients, and we know that they're doing successfully. So that's where we're coming from when we're teaching you guys these lessons. Like, we've learned and practiced and done it ourselves. And that's why we continue to invest in the technology, because we're realizing what's going to make it easier for you. And we listen to our users, and they have the same growth and same tools and need improvements. And that's why we're continuing to grow and improve the technology, because the world is changing, right? 5 years ago, no salespeople were posting on social media. Entrepreneurs, it was 1%. Now it's like, if you're not on social media, you're missing out on a huge opportunity of your business. You're leaving 25+% of your revenue out off the table because you're not. The landscape has changed. And as a result, our technology and our trainings and our teachings are going to continue to change, because we're always students, as Ruben mentioned. We're constantly learning. That's half of our job here. Half of it's to run the business, half of it's to learn how to run the business. So we're constantly reinvesting here, guys. And we're letting you know, this is the future. This is how you're going to continue to adapt, continue to identify those low-hanging opportunities, because we always need more, right? Especially in slow markets like real estate or mortgage right now, we need to find those leads more than ever. So these are some strategies we want you guys to walk away with today. You can now plan your entire content strategy for capturing low-hanging fruit from the wild, and you have a direct strategy for capturing low-hanging fruit from your list. And so if anyone has questions on anything we just talked about, would love to have your contribution in the chat, or the Q&A, or chat in this time. And then we can even, like I said, bring you on stage later for further discussion.
And I wanted to quickly show you a really great case study, actually. This is actually from my martial arts teacher, Ed, and he has a business called Ekata in Santa Clarita. And he actually, since I met him, he decided to just listen to me, which is nice. And he has an account to Dubb, and he's just started getting consistent sending a video email newsletter. So if you notice here, every month or so, he sends an update on his business. And what's really great about this is that he keeps his emails really simple, which I like. It's simple text, so it looks like it's just a human email. And then he encourages people to watch the video. And then from, of course, the video page, they can watch a video from him, and they can learn about the business by clicking on the call to action below, which is really nice to see. And if you notice here, what he's done is he's stayed consistent. So, every couple of weeks, he's sending out a message, and he's comfortable. He's in his space. He's wearing a sweatshirt. He's wearing, he's in front of his guitars. This is at his home office. And he's just sharing updates about the business. And what's really amazing to see is that I can consistently see that his business is growing. In fact, there's a really great video that he has on his account that shows, I'll talk about why I'm in a testimonial video in a minute, but what's really interesting about this video right here is that how do you see the number of views? This video right here shows his audience about how successful he is becoming and how many people are now attending his business. So it has 466 views. It's actually the most viewed video. And really what it is, if I just click play on this, it's just showing the studio. It's just showing the fact that there's social proof, that there's clients, that there's real people that are paying him money to go and consume this product that he has, which is martial arts, fitness, mindfulness, after school daycare, all this cool stuff. And in this video, it's just a simple walkthrough. It took him just a couple of seconds to create this video, and he's just showing a thriving community. And I think this is really interesting. The great thing about this is that there is low-hanging fruit in here. These comments, these likes, these 47 likes, these are prospects. I know that Shane from his team, because Shane and I talk, I know what Shane is doing. In fact, I should really show the Shane video. That's a perfect video to show you guys because it's like full circle. Let me try to bring that up in a moment. But it's full circle because now that they are doing social, they're sending a video email newsletter, they're figuring out through the Dubb platform who's watching those videos, who's clicking on those links, and then they're creating a list from this. And Shane and Shaka over there in the sales department, they're on the phone, and sure enough, they're sending Dubb videos. So I'm going to show Shane's video in a second, but I will say that Shane, when he edits videos, he's like a pro, and it's not typical. He uses CapCut, and there's all sorts of editing on it. So I'll show that in just a moment, but I hope that makes sense. Social media, video, email, newsletters gets low-hanging fruit. The data is there. Darius, you have taught us that success leaves a trail. Guess what else leaves a trail? Interest. People that are interested, they're going to leave a trail. They're going to give a like, they're going to give a comment, they're going to give a watch, they're going to give a reply. They're going to click on your call to action. All that data is available to you guys now. Just make sure that we listen to Darius and how to send a contact level tracked email campaign. Because if you send an email campaign and you don't have contact level tracking, you are not going to get first name, last name, viewed your video, clicked on your call to action. It's just going to say, some person clicked on it. So you won't have that contact level tracking. We'll explain more about what that means in case that just flew over your head. Darius, I'll let you do that.
Yeah, I got you here. Really quick too. Steve had a great question, which is how does this compare to cold calling? Now, what we like to call it, what I just showed you guys, Rob actually coined this term, Rob from our team. It's actually smart calling. So instead of cold calling a list of 100 people and not knowing where any of them are at, you send that same video email to the 100 people, see who actually clicked the button, and then that ends up being your smart call list because those people actually just saw you, just heard from you, you're top of mind. And when they pick up the phone, it's going to be a completely different conversation than the people that have not heard from you in some length of time and can't even remember who you are right now when you pick up the phone. So we're not against cold calling. We're definitely, if you're a cold caller, by all means, do your cold calling, but also use the strategies we're teaching here to warm call, to smart call. We're actually calling the people when they pick up the phone, they're gonna be like, oh my God, it's you, Steve. I was just seeing you. It's holy crap. I'm talking to you. It's a completely different conversation. I can promise you that. So definitely use the combination of both. And don't replace cold calling if you're doing cold calling, but definitely use this in conjunction. I have had people replace their cold calling efforts with cold marketing efforts, like outside of cold calling because they didn't like it. I've had other people that are like, I've cold called for 20 years. I'm fantastic at it. Do not change, right? That's a great skill that you have. So, okay, what we're going to talk about really quick is a third-party technology. Guys, we're very proud of the integrations that we've built. We love that we have people from all over the place using tons of different technologies. You name a marketing tool, I've probably heard of it, and we have an integration with, 50% of them. So on all the big platforms, like MailChimp or Marketo or HubSpot or ActiveCampaign, Go High Level, Constant Contact, you name it. Like I said, we have integrations with all of these tools so that you guys can do exactly what I showed you, where you're taking one video, you're sending it to your entire list, and then you're identifying the low-hanging fruit by who took that further action. If you guys are familiar with a marketing tool like a MailChimp or something, it'll tell you who opened and who clicked a link. But this is actually giving you a lot more intelligence because you're able to see specifically, did they even watch the message? How much of it did they watch? Which button did they click? So it's like you can have a generic sort of information. Did they click a link? Or you can have very specific information and know exactly what they consumed. So that's why we say it's the low hanging fruit. These are the lowest of the low hanging fruit, the people that not only are on your list, received your email, liked the subject, said, okay, this is interesting, opened it and said, oh, I know this guy, or this looks interesting, click, watched, and then said, yes, this is interesting for me. So that's, again, why we call them the low-hanging fruit, because they're at the bottom of the tree here. Really quick, Michael, you got one. Beyond being brief and giving real value, what specifically do we show, say, and write to get the first click? That is a great question, Michael. It's hard to say specifically because without knowing an industry or audience type. Because, for example, if you're in real estate, that message should be different for buyers and sellers. I would imagine it would be different. You could put one blanket message that's valuable for both, but if you really want to get to people's interest, you want to have them activate, you want to speak as closely to them as possible. So that, I would say, is the number one most important thing, is first identifying your exact audience you're going to be prospecting, the ones you're trying to identify the opportunities in. Identify exactly who they are, find out whatever commonalities you can find between them. The most common, most identifiable thing, like if they open an email and it says, hey, people in the 916 area code, right? Like that's a very specific group of people. So you want to find whatever commonalities are there and address that in the subject, in the body, before they even click. Perhaps even using a technique like this, where the Dubb mobile app, you can do a whiteboard, and then you can do something like this. Video for the 916 area, just for example. Now, everyone in 916 is going to, that's me. That's interesting. So through the combination of the subject, the body, and the thumbnail itself, that's why the understanding the audience is the most important piece. Because when you understand exactly who you're marketing to, you can tailor the subject, body, and even thumbnail, and of course the message, more specifically to them. So it does get really granular to get the better results. Like, again, there's no guarantees or promises, but if you're, for example, in real estate, you have buyers and sellers. If you send one blanket video that says, hey, everybody, here's the market, and then you sent in another test, hey, buyers, and it said buyer, buyers, buyers, and the other one said, hey, sellers, in the subject, body, and thumbnail, one of those is likely going to get much better results, because the sellers are going to say, I'm a potential seller. And the buyer sees a seller email and they're like, I'm not even close to selling. I'd love to own a home. So that's the most important thing, Michael. Identify exactly who you're trying to target. And then that way you're going to tailor the subject, body, thumbnail, and content specifically to those people. That's how you're going to drive that first click, because you're going to be giving them something exactly that person, those group of people are interested in. And they want to know more. So they're going to click, I want to know more. Hopefully that gives you an overview. Very generic enough, but again, in any industry, that's the rule of what I would recommend. Cool.
I've got a quick screen share just to show you this full circle idea here.
Right, and we'll come back to where this was coming from too. So good.
So low-hanging fruit. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap. Number one, let's send a video email newsletter to everyone on our list. Okay, let's clean our list out. Let's make sure that our domain name is good from our email address. If you could share some articles on that, just so that people have best practices when it comes to email marketing, I think that's really going to be good. Let's send a video email newsletter out like this. Let's share a bunch of non-salesy social media posts. Go omni-channel if you don't know which channel to use, and then figure out which one you like the best. LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads. There's so many that you can choose from. Pick a couple and just see what happens. I mean, if you have it on your phone, chances are you have an affinity towards it. Try to share a non-salesy, cool, nice little update. You don't have to show your face. In this video, he's not showing his face at all. So you can show something else. You can use editing. You can use AI voices. You can use stickers and emojis. The sky's the limit in terms of what editing you can do. In this case, he was walking down a staircase and he just decided to hit record while he's walking down a staircase. So it's as little effort as possible. Okay. So then based on the video email newsletter, the social media post, we can go and figure out who the interested parties are. Okay. Here's a list of prospects. These people might be interested in buying a service from him. Okay. In his video email, he can go into his Dubb account and he can actually show you the activity reporting specific to the contact to figure out who's interested. And then he'll either himself or he'll have someone on his team record either a personalized video for, in this case, it's for Lance, or an evergreen video that he can send to everyone. If this all depends on your deal size. If you have 1,000 people like in your mix and you need to broadcast another email to those people that are interested, that's okay to send an evergreen video. But if it's a high ticket amount, you might want to send each and every person a personalized video message. It's just going to have a massively more interesting impact. You'll notice there's some fancy effects here. He actually used CapCut, TikTok's video editor. I don't recommend this. He's really experienced with this and it takes a lot of time. I actually told him to not do this because it's just going to take too much time to make this a repeatable effort. I said, just record your video and just get into a volume situation. That's going to be much better because you get the personalization at scale, which is what we always talk about, personalization at scale. So hopefully that's a full circle situation for you guys in terms of how to do low-hanging fruit marketing. I would love to bring Rob onto the stage. Rob, if you'd like to share anything about, how you can do personalization at scale. This idea, you coined this term, which is smart calling. What is the difference between a smart call and a cold, I was going to say a dumb call, a cold call? Maybe Rob, once you're ready, you could jump on stage and guide us a little bit. Any questions, comments, concerns, throw them in the chat. Let us know. Here to support.
Yeah, you can just call it a Dubb call instead of a smart call. It's a Dubb call, D-U-B-B. So that's the same kind of thing. Don't do a dumb call, do a Dubb call. No, it's really about, this whole concept of, imagine you're going door to door physically. You're a salesperson, and whoever's done that out there, I've done it, and whoever's done it out there, you knock, 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 you do your thing. Whether you're knocking on a physical door or a digital door, the low-hanging fruit, you're already in the living room. You're already in there. You don't even have to worry about the barrier that's already there. You're there. Now, are the people going to sit down and offer you coffee yet and say, you know what, I'd like to do this? Well, they're not there yet, but you're in a much better position to start the work, because the whole idea of low-hanging fruit is, what's the most efficient things that are right in front of you that you can handle right now and probably get some very quick wins. And those quick wins that you get from those individual low-hanging fruits, guess what? They've got other friends that are fruit. They're going to come in as well. So there's like a double effort that's going on, and you're not even thinking about it. It's just happening. Because a lot of the times that when you make these connections, think about someone, if you had a good chat, you're doing like when we do the live training every day, people choose to come into the training and they're there. But if they watch a social media video and they see something they really connect with, and you just have a little back and forth, chat with them. That's like having a little chat at the coffee shop with someone. They remember, hey, remember when we had that chat? It's an immediate rapport building. So a lot of this has to do with that. The technology in general that Ruben and Darius and the team have created makes it easier for you to understand what their behavior is. Because at the end of the day, think about marketing in general, advertising, even think about films that come out. Why do you think there's pre-screenings? The directors and the producers are sitting in the back and they're watching the reactions of different parts of the film. What kind of music comes on? What are the scenes that really reverberate with them? These are all learnings to obviously market to people and make more effective messaging. That's why we create presets in Dubb to speak specifically to people. So when you have that list that Ruben and Darius just went through and the technology to do it, there are massive differences in between someone just clicking on an email, watching a video, just viewing the video page. These are all different things, but what do they all have in common? They took an action. They did something. So once they do something, that is like an immediate green light for you to be, wow, okay, what did they do? Here is the best way to reach out for that. For the cold calling stuff, we always say omni-channel is the best because it is. Cold calling is a very specific skill set. You could get on the phone with someone and you're just fantastic and you have the rapport right away and you do that whole thing. There are different rules to the game now in terms of doing that, just because the society has changed and time frames. And, when you're good at that stuff, you can pivot and be good at it. But why not let the technology tell you things that before was so hard to get? And now it's laying at your feet. So before you go and start into the Arctic with that picks into the ice, start in the living room where there's a nice little fireplace already going. I mean, it's right there. So anyone out here that uses Dubb religiously, or you're just checking it out, or you're just starting to use it, the more you use it, the more you get educated on it, it will not only lead you to the low fruit, it will identify what the kind of fruit is. So just my thing is, like, I love the human interaction. I love all that stuff, but technology is actually making it much easier to be a human and really connect with other people. So that's what I try to remember.
Right. Sweet. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Rob. I have a couple questions in the chat and I want to address those. And we're going to get just a little bit technical for you guys. because that's what the question is. So the first thing is Steve actually had a question. Where do I go to get a macro view of how Dubb can help me? So guys, everybody here, we do a live training every single weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Me or my partner Rob here will be in the live training, answering questions, overviewing the technology. We can get as specific or broad as you'd like to discuss. So those are smaller meetings, like not here where there's 20 plus people. It's going to be a small group, 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 at most. So dubb.com/T, Ina is going to put that in the chat. Steve, that's where you can come literally every single weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific and see the 30,000 foot view all the way down to the microscope in your own personal business. So that's a opportunity for everyone. You're all welcome to come. Great. Okay. The other thing, Ina produced some links in the chat, and I want to discuss those really quick. So the names of those links, it says how to authenticate your domain, setting up SPF and DMARC records, checking your deliverability score. All these are pertaining to setting up a bulk email system. If you guys already have a tool like a MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or something like that, you can probably ignore most of those things. You can just use your tool. That's what you're paying for. If you do not have a tool and you're looking at cost savings, or you're looking to use Dubb as your email sending tool, these are the list of items we're going to recommend. Actually, if you just want to put the full SendGrid article there as well. So what we have done ourselves, we've helped dozens of clients make this switch as well. They have gone from something like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp, because they're quite expensive and they don't allow you to send to cold contacts. So they've switched from ActiveCampaign or MailChimp to using Dubb. And so we only use Dubb for all of our marketing, right? We don't use other email sending technologies. And so we're teaching you in this article Ina's providing, that is exactly how we use Dubb and SendGrid in this case for all of our bulk email marketing efforts. That article is very robust. It's years of learnings from different, places, all sort of related to email marketing expertise. And it will take you from, I'm not sending any bulk emails today, all the way to the place where you have a scalable, repeatable bulk email engine that's set up for long-term success. So that's a mouthful because there's like 12 bullet points in that article. This is not something that you just like pick up immediately, right? This is like building a marketing automation technology or a opportunity for you to bulk email people. It's gotten a lot harder, guys. Before you could just go and buy a list and blast people. It's changed a lot. There's unsubscribe, there's deliverability. It's very hard to get bulk emails in front of the contacts that you want repeatably with ease. So that's what this article is all about. It's how to set yourself up so that you're not getting damage to your reputation, so that you're not getting blocked, so you're not going to spam. It covers all of those things there. So again, very robust list. And if you guys just click it now, read it at your own time. And if you want to come back to the live training to discuss any part of that article, I'm happy to provide it. I wrote the article so I can help discuss any nuances there. And yeah, so that is an excellent opportunity. Again, I've helped dozens of clients save tens of thousands of dollars by switching from other technologies to Dubb plus SendGrid. I've also helped clients grow their business, by turning on bulk email and marketing automation. So that article is for those of you that want to do that. Here we go. Okay, actually, Daniel, so you did a direct message. I appreciate that, but we're not shy of that here. So this says his question specifically is how does Dubb compare with BombBomb when using Follow Up Boss? So this is a specific question. The Follow Up Boss is a real estate CRM, and BombBomb is a direct competitor to Dubb. However, again, we're not shy of this competition because every single thing BombBomb can do, Dubb can do, plus a whole bunch of stuff that's much better above and beyond. The AI that I showed you, the teleprompter, the video editing, the landing pages, literally so much more that they don't do. Jim, thank you. Yeah, so I'm not, like I said, don't shy from that competition. I think it's a fight we win hands down every day of the week. We're also better priced. We also include far more training. As I mentioned, you guys can come speak to experts every single day. So I think it's not a competition. So specifically integration with Follow Up Boss, it's a very powerful integration. Add the button in. Check out our article, just search Follow Up Boss in the green button. It'll take you straight to the video, explain everything there for you. So thanks for the question, Daniel. Appreciate it.
And Darius, I got one once you're ready.
What do you got?
So I wanted to bring up Shane on the stage. Shane,
Oh, here.
Shane, the funny thing is, Shane, I didn't even know you were in this call, and then I saw your name, and I was like, oh, nice. So let's everyone just give Shane a warm welcome. Shane, if you're okay to there you go.
Yeah, no, I was hiding in the shadows with my camera off. So
hey, that's where we all start. So Shane, I think one of the things, first of all, I wanted to congratulate you because I think that you've done such a really good job to realize that, video, you totally get social media, you totally get YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, but I think that this whole world of video messaging and being able to email or SMS someone with a personalized video or an evergreen video, I think you obviously see the power in that. And kudos to you for creating this video, which I shared earlier, which is awesome because you're so comfortable on camera. A lot of us suffer from video phobia. Like, how do you feel comfortable on camera, and how are you going to get into a flow recording a lot of videos?
I mean, yeah, I understand that some people have that anxiety about being on camera, but your phone's in your pocket. I mean, during COVID, my daughter and I, we did 1 million YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things you gotta look at the phone, record yourself, and just know you're not going to watch it again. You're going to send it to potential clients. And what I've learned from social media here at our martial arts studio is just dump content on content and see what sticks. I mean, I might do a video and use a Dubb platform and see that it gets no traction, and I know to change it up. So I think just practice. And if it's, I mean, nowadays we don't have film or reels, so it's endless. Just hit delete, clear out your trash, and record again.
Right.
That's it. There's something really beautiful that happens in the repetition. If you don't feel comfortable being on camera, I bet you haven't done 100 videos, like 100 real videos. I bet you haven't hit that number, because once you hit that number, you get over the anxiety and the fear. And then once you get to 1,000, then you actually get really good at it. And then once you get to 10,000, then all of a sudden you're like a pro. And, the power of video is immense, because how many times have you said, I wish I could clone myself. I wish I had another version of myself to do all this work. Well, you do now, and it's in your pocket, and it's that little red button. So all you have to do is record every demo, every FAQ, every social media post, every idea, every YouTube video that you can possibly record, get into that flow, and then every single one of the pieces of content that you have is like a sales rep. It's effectively a clone version of you.
Right. No, I mean, there's no bad content. And every video I do, I feel comfortable. I'm recording videos every day, photos every single day. I mean, I'll look back at something that I thought was amazing, and then I can perfect that the next time. I just have a quote here quickly, kind of integrate this into Dubb videos that you send out, because working with people, nobody wants to pick up their phone nowadays because of spam likely. I mean, unless it's my mom calling, I will not pick up, or wife. Right. So people, especially being able to track Dubb videos or send SMS messages, I mean, that's where we're at right now. I read this on the internet: produce as much content as possible, consumer consumption, see what sticks, and then quantify that. So that's kind of how I tweak my videos day to day. I'm doing videos daily, and they just keep getting better and better. And the little snippet that he showed earlier, I mean, I'm perfecting it. I'm getting better at it, so I can produce a video like that in under 2 minutes with all the.
I was gonna say, man, that was above and beyond. It looks so professional. Like, it does require chops, guys. Like when he said 2 minutes, because he's done this. Like he said, he's recorded videos on YouTube. It's a skill that requires practice. For the extra edits, it requires much less practice to do the run and gun and just get it out. But guys, if the opportunity makes sense, like, if you're not swimming in leads, right, you're not drowning in so many, it does make sense to try to go above and beyond and to always improve. Like, guys, when we settle for the basic, right, that's what our results will be. And when you're going above and beyond and pursuing the, better results, like what he's doing here, that's what we're going to be achieving. So I struggle because I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed, but it is a mindset where you're like, yes, I'm going to get to this level today, but tomorrow I'm going to be at this level. And so what he's doing with his videos there, why couldn't we all do one like that eventually, where, like, yeah, I'm going to go a little bit further. This listing is a multi-million-dollar home. I'm going to do whatever I can to earn this business, or this life site, this opportunity is worth thousands of dollars in my pocket. I'm definitely going to go as far as I can. And that will that limit of how far we can go will depend on our skill level. So that's what we're always doing. We're always increasing the technology here. And so your guys' skill level can rise with it. So I don't want you to feel discouraged when you see an awesome video like his. I want you to feel encouraged that one day you can do that too. You just got to practice, get the reps, and you will get there.
Jim Martell says the quality is in the quantity.
It's sort of a paradox, but
that's cool. Yeah. Is there anyone else that would like to come on stage and share any stories, any success stories, any stories where they maybe need some support? It's also a really good opportunity to get some practice being on video, just doing it in a Zoom, because you don't actually have to click record, you're just sort of present. So if anyone would like to come on stage, we're always welcome to have you guys on stage to learn and to share and to teach. So.
Right. If you get used to live video, then pre-recorded videos, nothing, right? Because you get used to this. There's no edits, there's no re-record. It's all out there. So live video is a great element. It's also, guys, probably the most favored video on any social platform. So if you guys are doing any sort of social media marketing where you have an audience on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, consider going live. It's worth the practice, and it's definitely worth the engagement. They'll show your video to far more people than your regular posts will. So.
One of the things that I'm doing, Darius, did we mention presets?
We did not discuss presets today.
Okay, we should.
Okay, you find yourself in a perpetual.
Sorry about that. I wanted to share my screen very quickly. We should definitely talk about presets as well. So here's an example. Here's a strategy that I've adopted. What I'm doing is I'll start by going live on a topic. And actually, this is a story about Ed, about Ekata, the same business. And live videos on YouTube, I don't have a lot of subscribers on my channel. This is sort of a new effort. By the way, if you want to subscribe to my channel, it's youtube.com/Ruben Dua. So please consider doing that. But I'm doing this strategy where I record the video live, I stream it live using StreamYard. I'll share our partner link to StreamYard in a moment. I think we get a special deal on that for you guys. But then what I do is I also record this video, and then that video then gets published as a proper video here on this account. So that's another strategy that people are starting to use, where they go live, but then they record the video, because most of the live streamers, you can download the recording of it, and then they might do some light trim, light edit on it just to kind of clean it up a little bit, and then repost that. Because I think the nature of live video is that you'll get a lot of initial views, and then it drops off immediately, because it's sort of like news. News is relevant at the moment, but then it dissipates and it's not as relevant. So I think to get the best of both worlds, do a live video, kind of like what we're doing. We're streaming this live, but then we're also going to download this video, edit it, and then post it. Like I was just telling Ina on Slack here, hey, try to trim out the parts where people's mics were hot in the beginning, because we don't want that in the recording. It's not relevant. So hopefully you guys understand that live and then sort of post published strategy. I can share more if you're interested.
The other portion of that, the other opportunity from there, is when you take that live recording, usually during a live, some sort of sporadic things will happen, right? Some moments that you were glad to have captured. And then you can go take that recording, extract those little conversations and moments, and that goes and powers up your social channel. Like go watch anyone that's really powered up their social, like it's daily or multiple times a day that they're posting. You'll see that a lot of it's repurposed content. Maybe they have one fresh post for that day, one new piece of content, but most of the other posts are repurposed, like a square version out of the YouTube video that they did, the live that they did. So multiple benefits, guys. When you record videos, live, longer form videos, you can come harvest and recycle parts of those videos for other places. So there's countless opportunities for content, guys. As Shane, our guest here, told us, and we should all know at this point, we have to put more content out there. That's the only way we're going to increase the amount of business coming into us, is by putting more effort out there. And effort is scalable, right? You can do a really poor post 1,000 times, and that will not equate one quality post one time, right? So that's why we're trying to sharpen up the stuff that we're doing. We want stuff that gets better engagement. Video gets better engagement than other forms of content. People are consuming these short forms of videos right now. It's extremely popular, right? TikTok, Reels, everything's happening. So this is the opportunity to take advantage of that, of what's happening in our world, and build the skills now, because it's not going anywhere.
There's an old expression, don't do as we say, do as we do. Like right now, we're live streaming our meeting. How many people are live streaming their webinars and their demos and their meetings? Zoom has an instant integration into YouTube, Facebook. You can do a page, you can do a group. You can't do them simultaneously, only one at a time. If you want to do multiples, you can use StreamYard, which I'll share our link to. In fact, I just shared the link to our Facebook Live video right now. Please leave a comment on that for us. And the next time you host one, tell us to leave a comment on it, because we want to drive that engagement and build that community up, and we're there for you guys. We'll also, Ina, could you share the link on presets? Presets, the idea of a preset is every effort that you're doing for your sales process, you want to have a preset for it. If you're reaching out to cold prospects, you might have a different set of calls to action on that page compared to the ones that you might have for your existing clients. Or if you're doing a social bio link, maybe you don't want your phone number on it. If you're doing a podcast invite, or if you're doing a booking call, a discovery call, you want to have a different set of calls to action. So consider creating a different preset for every effort that you do. Figure out the 4 or 5 major efforts that you do for your sales and marketing, and then create a preset for those. Kind of a pro tip. There's the article right there.
Yeah, I'll demonstrate it really quick, guys, just to give you an extremely specific visual of this effort. So I'm just here inside of Gmail. I'm going to click record, just for example. Now, what I'm going to do, again, this is an example of something that you guys would repeat. And instead of repeating parts of your message, you're going to use the technology instead. So first, I'm going to pull up the Dubb app, and I'm going to pretend that I have a lead, an opportunity. I have several of these come across a day, maybe several a week, depending on your business, maybe dozens. So this one is, the guy's name is Darius, and he's a lead that has said, hey, I want to learn more about Dubb. So I'm going to respond to his lead with this. I'm going to say video for Darius. So this is a feature on the Dubb mobile app. I'm going to put this in my thumbnail. By doing this, you're going to get much better engagement. Shane actually did the high-tech version of this, where he went and did some video editing and put some personalization in it after. This is an easy version to do that you can do on your phone without knowing how to go do it post-production. Again, don't be discouraged to doing it post-production, but this you can do right now. Video for Darius, I'm going to press record. I'm going to use a specific script, and it's all going to make sense in a second. 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to say, hey, Darius, I got your information here, and I wanted to share a quick message with you. It actually comes right after this, and I think you're going to love it. Also, if you find what interesting, what comes next, then you'll see below a link to my calendar, also some very relevant case studies and testimonials that I also think you'll find interesting, because they're from people just like yourself. Thanks again for your time, and looking forward to hearing what you think about this next video. Something very generic like that, right? I didn't really say anything. I said, hey, check out this video. But it was very personalized, and it was just for them. And what you're going to see is now this video email is ready to go, right? But what happened with Dubb is I had a preset applied. So all these elements, the logo, the watermark, the background, but more importantly, the buttons and the videos were all applied to my message automatically. So come back to the script. Hey, Darius. I said, hey, Darius, check out this video. And so right at the end of this video, it automatically rolls into the next video. Show you. So in this case, it's exactly what I wanted. It's a 90-second overview of how all the cool stuff Dubb does. So instead of me repeating myself about how awesome Dubb is, the system does it for me. And then after that comes some testimonials from our happy clients, where they can see how Dubb's helped other people like themselves. And then below that, you'll see I have options for them to book a time, view some success stories. So this whole page, what you guys saw is I pressed record in 20 seconds. Dubb built exactly this. But what I will say, everything about this page is generic. This artwork back here, generic. This explainer video. Hey, we're going to show you how. It's a 2-minute explainer for anyone, testimonials for anyone, and customer success stories for anyone. But what I'll show you is, just for example, Dubb has a really great track record with higher education. So admissions counselors admitting students to college using video instead of plain text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my preset. And what you're going to see is it's going to change all of those elements at once. So what you just saw before, it had generic background. Now it's a college campus. Here was a generic explainer. Now it's a specific explainer for people in admissions. Here was some generic testimonial. Now it's specific testimonial from admissions. There was a generic success story. Now there's a specific case study. So that's how presets are designed to work, guys, is to first save you time. so you're not repeating the repeatable parts of your message. And two, to instantly customize your messages based on whatever your most common opportunities are. So it's really those two things. It's saving time and presenting the most effective message you can while also saving time. So that's the purpose of the presets, guys. You can have as many different presets as you want, and they can serve all different purposes. So the two examples I showed you are all about business development, right? They're top of funnel, maybe middle, where I can show them some information, some testimonials. But what if they're already a customer? What if they bought Dubb? Now they're happy. Now I want to collect a review from them. So I'm going to change the preset one more time, and you're going to see again, it instantly changed everything on that page. Now it has just the specific buttons we need to collect reviews for our business. Maybe you have your own buttons, right? Leave me a review on Google, send me a testimonial video, whatever your places are. So that's the application of a preset, guys, is the instant optimization of a video message based on what you're trying to accomplish. So if anyone has questions on that, and if you don't have a preset, please come to the live training, and we're going to help you build one in real time. We'll take the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the call and build your preset with you. If you do not have one, you absolutely need one, because if you don't have one, you're either hand building every page and you're adding some buttons and stuff to every page manually, and that's very time consuming, or your videos are blank and you're putting less than the best effort that you could out there. And once you have a preset, it doesn't require any more effort, right? It's even less effort. You're saying less in your video and getting more out of it. So it's a no-brainer. Everyone should absolutely have one. And if you don't, come see us in the live training, or just come to the chat. It's a private chat. You can say, hey, I don't have my preset. I need some support. We'll work with you there. So definitely have one if you don't.
Well, listen, thank you guys so much for joining this webinar. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, support@dubb.com. Reach out to our channels, intercom little bubble on the bottom right, Facebook group. Great to have you guys, and see you at the next webinar. It's so great. It's so great that you guys came here, and listen, this is a recurring thing. We're doing this every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. So register for the next one, and we promise to provide value. Thank you, guys.
Different lessons every week, guys. And we're going to be bringing you, again, specific strategies, like what you can take away with and do today. So hopefully you guys have in your upcoming plans some opportunities to identify your low-hanging fruit.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.